So I have a couple of words that I want to throw at you, which is not
Ah,
the way that I generally go about things, but because of what you said. So the words that I want to throw at you are, if we consider you little more focused compared to what you were earlier, are you saying the word now I want to use prior to your say Goa trip for just the reason of discussion, you were scattered, that you learned to collect yourself, and now you are living a calm and collected version of yourself. Are these words bang on as well as do you relate to them the
yes,
way
they're
I narrate them?
bang on,
So
bang on,
that's
bang
my
on.
question.
They're exactly what the words I would use. I mean, I keep tending back towards being scattered because I guess that's just, I've lived my whole life like that. And this newfound me is only maybe 4 years old or something. So yes, but largely speaking, yes, I am more calm. I am more collected, and I don't get frazzled with external happenings as much as I used to earlier.
Okay. So the question that I want to lead to is, uh, for want of a better way to put it, uh, this is a progress. Okay, we were to take this as progress because earlier you were scattering yourself, you were unhappy about the little success you had with whatever you were having, whether it was professional or personal. We'll not get into that. So then you decided that the mind could be collected with whatever reading and listening to spiritual discourses, living uh, a more disciplined way of functioning. Now, with this, what is it that changes? Suppose it were to be called focus because of this, the result being calm and collected. If this is called focus because it has brought you here, how do you use this to handle your work and your family life? What is it that you really bring to the table? Because you said you're working equally hard. So is that not a clash? Shouldn't that become more easier? What do you mean by that?
No, it's like, you can be working hard by banging your head against the wall, or you can be working hard by taking a hammer and slowly chiseling it away. It's like it's a two different approaches. You just have tools now which you have collected along the way, which enable you to handle things, probably the same things or even sometimes more difficult things, which would have really thrown you off kilter in the past. You take it in your stride now. And also, age is also a fact, is a thing that you should consider here, because as you live, you collect more and more experiences. So you are better equipped to handle uh, stressful situations because of all the situations that you've already handled in the past. So when we knew each other, we used to hang out all the time. That was 15 years back, 10 years back. It was, you had a much lesser, you had a smaller repertoire of stressful situations which you had gone through. Add another 10 years to that, you've gone through so many more stressful situations. So when you're at this point in time, you feel more equipped to handle them because of the practice.
Okay. So couple
Practice.
of things that come to my mind. So if one were anybody who's watching this and wants to learn how to be focused uh, by just listening to what we are chatting about. So would a couple of things like one being patient with oneself to start with because in a way we are kind of reasonable success stories of having moved from a absolutely ad hoc way of living to a little more disciplined way of living. One, and still surviving within the given social network that we are, because a couple of times when I started doing this around the same time that you are talking about, I think a lot of people my age looked at me and they thought these are things for either serious people or saintly people, or there was some kind of labeling that was happening at that point of time. But I don't want to get into that as much as, so the focus, the aspect of focus that increases. Are you saying that when one is independent of one's own preconceived notions and habit patterns, and re-looks at them objectively, obviously they are not easy to break. Those things are a separate question, perhaps. You did mention that twice or thrice during your journey, you've gone back to those habits and realized with lot of pain that they don't work, and then again come back to this regimented way of living. So my question to you is: are these jumps, or are this is this a gradual way of being that one learns? So, for example, if you were living a chaotic life, you had a certain, you woke up in the morning with a hangover or any such problem you had, still you had to work and you had to deliver within the next 3 hours. Now the same Prashant, if he's waking up because he's had a regimented way of living, um, he wakes up, he's focused, he says, okay, I have only 3 hours, but today I have woken up, my body is not up to it for any reason, not necessarily the earlier reasons itself. Today I'm not feeling up to it. One, it gives you confidence to call up the client or the agency saying, today I may not be able to deliver. So this is immediate responsibility for taking up the job and delivering what is possible or what is not possible. The second thing is, alternately, you give yourself time. You realize you can't squeeze out of this job. So you give yourself time and just relax and do your practice or whatever it is. Just ground yourself. You did say you don't get frazzled by outside environment environment now like you used to earlier. So is this mindset change also a direct contribution to your intensity of focus, and does it work on your both on your professional and personal lives?
Yes,
Call it a
absolutely.
focus.
Yes, I absolutely. You're absolutely right. Focus is the most important thing. Okay, basically, how you focus, uh, basically unravels how your life turns out according to yourself. Okay, so like for me, when I started, the object of the focus. Okay, first of all,
Okay.
uh, when your object of the focus, I mean, you have to. It's very difficult. You have to choose your objects very carefully. So if the object of your focus is an external thing, which is not in your control, every time that thing does something, you're going to have to react to it basis what that thing is doing, that thing, that person, that situation, whatever it is. So it's not in your control. So then you keep reacting to it internally without really much forethought. But the minute your focus is on how you feel from within, the minute your focus is on what you feel from within, from yourself, that guy is doing crazy stuff. He's saying things to me. So how am I feeling? So basically, you're just looking at yourself, how you're feeling from within. So the minute that there is an external, like within your own self, when there is someone else watching someone else inside your own personality, your reactions, or rather the way you approach your external world gets uh, better in my case. I would think it is better because it calibrates your response and it's not ad hoc and it's not a knee-jerk reaction. So yes, but of course, I mean it doesn't just happen like that. I mean,
Okay.
you could go to a spiritual sermon or you listen to a talk, and you feel awakened after that talk that you heard for 1 hour, and you feel like, wow, I am one with God right now. But that feeling doesn't last. Okay, that feeling doesn't last because in order to be effective in this world, whatever you do, anything that you do, any human being who has done anything of note in this world, uh, it is only through practice, to practice, to practice, to practice, to practice, on good days, on bad days. If you see a person with a good physique, it means that person is going to the gym almost every day, no matter what, whether it's raining, whether he's unwell, he's going to the gym. If you see somebody who's a great musician, it means he's practicing every single day. He wakes up with a headache, he says, no, but I go to practice. Same, so many, I mean, all these, there are even the greatest geniuses in the field. They might have an God-given talent, but they will not become great at it unless they practice every single day of their life. And that is a practice. So it is not like you were saying, is it a sudden thing that happens? Like suddenly you wake up one morning and you become a regimented human being. Like on day one, you suddenly become regimented. That is fine. That is a sudden move. But then day two onwards, you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
The first day that change might be because you're inspired or you feel, elevated because of the sermon that you heard. That's fine. But day two onwards, day three onwards, carrying on every day for the rest of your life. That has to come from within, and that has to be, that is the focus that I'm talking. That you have to do certain things no matter what. Like you have to, like in my instance, for me it is like meditation and yoga. I do it no matter what. 9 times out of 10, like in 365 days, I'll do it 350 days. 15 din I might miss because I'm doing something else. But that is something that has to come from within. Even on days where you feel that it's not helping you, you do it, and you get better and better and better. You keep sliding back into your old ways because you lived like that for all your life. But then again, you pull yourself back. So
Okay.
it's just a process that you gotta keep chiseling away at the thing every day, little by little, little by little, little by little.
Okay.
There's no end to it. But it's a very joyful process. It's not like hard work, or it's not like your listeners should not feel that it is such a boring thing or something like that. It's actually joy. uh, Practice is the joy itself. You know, like you see a great guitar player and he's playing every day. He's playing 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. He's practicing, but he's deriving joy out of that. It's something that he loves doing. It's making him good and it's giving him fun at the same time.
Okay.